I'm going to show you a particular stretching set that I like to use to get more flexible for kicking. The higher you can kick, the more flexible you are, the faster you'll be able to move, being more loose, kicking at lower targets as well. That will make the lower targets easier to hit, and it will help you hit harder as well. In my opinion, stretching is much like working out. There's a little bit of working out you can do every day. When you wake up and you yawn, that's a natural form of a stretch that gets the blood going through your system and is helpful to get you to perform whatever tasks you have to do for the day. However, when you are working out, you also have something called powerlifting, where you're trying to make the muscle grow quickly in an outward direction. In powerlifting, you lift something heavy, you push hard, you do it in sets, and you don't do it every day. Overworking the muscle will fight it from growing as fast as it most effectively can. And in my opinion, there is warm-up stretching, which is light stretching, not really pushing it through a range of different body parts that you may be using for your later exercises. And then there's power stretching, which you don't do before you work out. Power stretching, much like power lifting, is something that you would also do in sets. And you would do it maybe 3 days a week, every other day, so as to give your muscles time to recuperate. You're trying to make them grow long-wise so that you can stretch them farther apart. So think of this, what I'm going to show you, as a set that you would want to do 2 or 3 times 3 days a week. And if you do that, I think you'll find that you'll have good and very quick improvement in your kicking ability and height that you can reach. So the first one we're going to do is going to be the split. Just put your legs really far apart, as far as you can. Anchor yourself back and forward a little bit. And you don't have to stay very long in power stretching. You just have to push really hard. And again, do it in those 2 or 3 sets. The second, third time, you'll go a lot farther. Just go on the sides and keep the knees straight. So you go back to the center, set it down, trying to keep the tension on the legs of the split. Try to keep your heels back and push your hips forward. Tighten it back up. I try to reach out to each feet with both hands so as to get the twist on the torso that I want. Going down each leg. Stretching out in front. I try not to stretch down. I reach forward to go forward as much as possible. Then I like to do a side stretch where I am holding, I'm in posture as if I'm holding a big ball, reaching over my head towards the foot. Going both ways. You might bounce a little bit, but I recommend not bouncing hard because you can pull something with bouncing, so I don't really do much of that. Just a little bit of rocking down lightly to get into the position. Okay, next one, bring the legs forward. Keep your knees straight and pull yourself down as far as you can go. If you can reach your feet, I like to grab hold of the toes and push the feet forward so as to stretch the toes in the form of karate front kicking. That's good for high front kicks. Ninjutsu systems primarily only have a lift kick and a stomp kick done in various different directions, which uses the bottom of the foot and the heel. But for high line front kicks to the face, you get a few inches more distance using the ball of the foot. It's a quadricep stretch I like to do, where you put one foot down with the opposite hand. Grab your back foot, pull it in real tight, and then push your hip down towards the ground. If you get low enough, you feel that quadricep. Do that to each leg. Everybody remembers the name of butterflies. Pull your feet in as close as you possibly can. I like to do it with something bracing my back. That way I can let my back sit straight against the brace while I push my knees down. I find that flattens knees down farther than trying to grab the ankles and push them down with my elbows. But I do like to grab the ankles and push them a little bit so as to stretch my back down forward as a second stretch. Feel the stretch a little bit in a different place when I do that. So that's the set. After I come up from that, this is kind of a cool down. I like to shake the legs out a little bit, maybe do hip rotators. And it gets the blood flowing again, and so that you can move more quickly. When you find that you've come to a point where you're at those last few inches, just the last few inches to getting full splits, and they're really hard to get. Partly that's because you think you're using your hands for just balance and you're pushing hard. Because of the pain, you're actually holding yourself up from going as far as you really could go if you let gravity do the work. So I recommend once you get those down to where you're on those last few inches, you're having a hard time getting them, then, only then, get yourself a couple of chairs and try for what are called chair splits. So be careful, you might use mats or whatever, because you will probably fall the first time or two you try to do this. Put the chairs about so far apart, almost the extent, reach of my arms. Go. And then incorporate that into your set stretch. And I think you will find that shortly after doing those, you get to where you can do the full split.